Software Quality Assurance Crash Course. Test documentation. Overview. Test documentation is a set of test documents used for the purpose of software quality assurance. Test documentation may be split into three main categories: test execution documents, test automation scripts and data, and test policy documentation. There are four main test execution documents: checklist, test case, test scenario, and test suite. Test case being the most important document for the software quality assurance. The main test automation documents include test script and test data. Though test data is used in manual testing, in automation it plays a special role and meaning. The main policy documents include test plan, test strategy, and test policy. Test plan and test strategy may either be separate documents or be merged in one. The choice depends on the developer and the software scope. If a project is bigger in size, it makes sense to have different documents, else these documents may be united in one. Test data. Test data is the data specifically designated to be used in tests. Test data may be produced by the tester or by a program that aids the tester. Test data may be recorded for reuse or used once and then forgotten. The test data may be split into two following types: synthetic fake data and representative real data. The synthetic test data are either manually created or created by data generation tools. The representative test data are usually taken from production environment and then anonymized. Checklist. Checklist is a flat list of verifications to undertake during the testing stage. It helps to split the software functionality into separate testing blocks and allows to understand the scope of testing and how many checks failed. In checklist, the test order may be random because it does not matter. Checklists are common for initial stages of the project when test cases are only planned for the future development. Test case. Test case is a sequence of steps dedicated to verify the expected software behavior. The main difference between a checklist and a test case is the expected result field, obvious for test cases. Test case is the main testing document and is often synonymous for the very term test. There are two types of test cases: informal and formal. Informal test cases are used for the software which doesn't have formal requirements, being based on the accepted normal operation of the software of a similar class. A formal test case is characterized by a known input and expected output, which is figured out before the test is executed. Formal test case format may include various parameters, but the obvious fields are as follows: ID, description, steps, expected result, status, and priority. The shortest test case format may omit the priority field. Test script. Test script is a program designated to automate test case steps and verifications. Each test script is typically associated with a test case. After the test script is implemented, it usually replaces the test case associated with it during testing workflow. Test script is commonly to test a part of the software system functionality. Test scripts can be created using general-purpose programming languages, special test script programming languages, or a graphic user interface test recording tools. Test scripts are crucial while mocking a situations inimitable for a human being, for instance, as a part of load testing. Test scenario. Test scenario is step-by-step end-user activity documented for a certain functionality to be tested. While test case is better suited for a unit testing, test scenario better fits for the end-to-end functional testing. Test cases are usually short-wave verifications, while test scenarios cover a significant number of steps to validate an expected result. The purpose of test scenario is to follow the end-to-end consequence of actions to test a specific complex problem or troublesome situation. Test suite. Test suite is a collection of test cases, test scenarios, and test scripts to be executed in a specific test run. A test suite often contains detailed instructions or goals for each collection of test cases and information on the system configuration to be used during testing. A group of test cases may also contain prerequisite states or steps and descriptions of the following tests. Test suite is a container that has a set of tests which helps testers in executing and reporting the test execution status. In a test suite, the test cases or test scripts are organized in a logical order. For example, the test case for registration will precede the test case for login. Test plan. Test plan is a product-level document that describes the test objectives, schedule, estimation, deliverables, and resources required for the software testing. Test plan serves a template to conduct software testing activities as a defined process, which is monitored and controlled by the test manager. Test plan is usually prepared by the test manager and shared with the entire team in the project. Test plan must be consistent with the company's test policy and test strategy documents. Test strategy. Test strategy is a project-level document which defines the overall testing approach to be followed during the testing. Test approach and test activities included in the test strategy must be consistent with the test policy of the organization. A company may have various test plans, which are created as per the test strategy, though it's not a rare situation when test strategy is defined inside the test plan. Test strategy is usually written by the project manager and commonly includes general test strategy, management principles, test processes, and test approaches. Test policy. Test policy is the company-level document which defines the test principles adopted by organization. Test policy is determined by the company's chief executive officers, which provide an organizational insight for the test activities. The test policy commonly describes the place of testing in the company, test objectives of the organization, testing process definition, test effectiveness measurement, and test processes improvement approach. Test management tools. Test management tool is a software application designed to help teams manage their software testing processes effectively. Test management tools can cover all levels of test documentation and provide a centralized location for storing and managing test cases, test scenarios, requirements, and defects. Test management systems play a crucial role in ensuring software quality by automating the following processes: requirements traceability, project tasks tracking, test case management, automated scripts execution, defect tracking, reporting, and metrics provision. The main advantages of test management tools are as follows: testing process consolidation, efficient data access and analysis, and effective communication across teams.